How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to day 7 of Vlogmas, and today we're going to be focusing on what it takes for a gym to host a powerlifting meet. Let's get after it. So when it comes to a powerlifting meet, a lot of what competitors and people think about whenever those are being done is paying for it, coming in, sometimes getting a drug test. You have 3 different lifts, 3 different attempts, all of that kind of stuff. But a lot of things go on behind the scenes that I wanted to discuss a little bit today with you on as it comes to the gym as a whole. So this is going to exclude anything that the federation does. So a little bit background, we started hosting powerlifting meets around 2021, 2022, in that time frame, out of our first location, which was about half of the size that we are currently in. So that was loads of fun to get the same amount of people into something that was half the size. And so as a gym owner, typically what I can expect with those meet days is if the meet is on Saturday, then on Friday, normally it's an all-day venture. So they will do weigh-ins from about 9 to 11 in the morning, do all their checks, weight checks, equipment checks, all of that stuff. And then between about 11 and 4, which is when the afternoon section comes in for all of their weigh-ins, is the setup time. And so my job is to ensure that the gym is set up appropriately and everything's moved around and all of that to ensure that meet day runs effectively. So it's during that time that I move all the pieces of equipment, set up the appropriate bars, set up the deadlift platform. I make sure that the door is unlocked for everyone throughout the day. I put away all the towels, spray bottles, try and set out all the recovery tools like massage guns, foam rollers, all of that kind of stuff. And then I go and do a little bit of extra stuff, and I try and help our meet director out a little bit when I'm not competing and help with all of the electronics, making sure the live stream works, all of the TVs work, making sure that the calibrated plates are set up and ready to go for all of our spotters and loaders. And for the people competing, I'm responsible for setting up spotters and loaders, so ensuring that I have the people to come in and do that job for me on the day. So that's my responsibility. Along with that, ensuring that the bathrooms, we have enough and are fully stocked throughout the day. So along with that, then I'm also making sure that the gym stays clean. And so that's the big thing, is that Saturday, you're gonna have the majority of the day. I'm normally responsible for taking payment, collecting payment for the meet director at the beginning, for all of the spectators, coaches, all of that coming in, and then kind of sit around, make sure that the gym is functional and all of that. And then at the end is the cleanup. So anything that I've essentially moved away now needs to come back to where the home of it is. And so this can be a long and tedious process, couple hours normally on Saturdays. And so yesterday was a lot of fun after I competed and obviously hurt my back. Normally it's not as bad, but yesterday, essentially what you do now is put everything back. Powerlifters notoriously can leave the gym dirty with chalk, baby powder, food, all of that kind of stuff. So putting everything back, putting bars where they need to go, unloading machines that people may have loaded throughout the time. Then I'm also sweeping, mopping, wiping down pieces of equipment that they're sitting on that normally you may not think of, but a lot of people use that equipment as seats, or they see a piece of equipment that they've never seen before, they want to try it out. Well, we're going to ensure that it's wiped down so that when the members come in after it's all said and done, they do not have a singular issue at all with using any of the equipment because it's all ready for them, all cleaned, all ready to go. So you kind of have to pack all of that into a couple of hours. It's great because I do have family that comes up and helps, which is super helpful so that I'm not doing it all myself. And then along with that, you're also helping the meet director ensure that all of their stuff is packed up, giving it to them, all of that, whatever. So from the gym's perspective as a whole, you're just solely responsible for providing the place to host the meet, providing a lot of the equipment. They provide the plates, which is nice, and they provide the bars for the lifters and all that. I provide the bars for the warm-up area and the equipment for the warm-up area, but they provide it for the platform. But yes, the gym as a whole is not really responsible for much else outside of that. So when it comes to collecting payment for registration, when it comes to the drug tests, when it comes to the record setting, the record posting, all of that, the gym's not really responsible for that. we're responsible for essentially 2 days of ensuring that the gym is functional and operable for the powerlifting meet. And then after that, we're done with it until the next one. One of the big things that I do differently as a gym owner is I try not to close the gym during the time. So some gyms might close the gym during that specific period of time to allow for all those people to come in and all of that. I do not close the gym. I close off areas of the gym. So the back section where all of our powerlifting stuff is, are all of our racks, bars, plates, all of that is normally blocked off, and then the rest of it, all of my members can utilize as well. I try not to close off too much of it for people so that people can still go in and get their workout done and all of that. So I do block off some sections to try and make it a little bit more accessible for people. Some people don't also like all of the people in there, and then a lot of the parking that's taken up and all of that. So sometimes people don't utilize it on those days, but I do try to make it available for members to come in and utilize the gym still, no matter what we're doing, because I want to ensure that I'm making money by hosting the meet at my gym, but I also want to be sure that I don't put members out of their way so that they can still come in and utilize their memberships and they can still pay for access on those days. So that's a lot of what it takes behind the scenes, a little bit from a gym owner's perspective on how to run those specific meets. So a lot of it mostly is just making sure that the gym is set up for success and then helping the meet director here and there. This past time, I wasn't able to do that as much because I wanted to ensure I wasn't overexerting myself the day before and then having to lift on that Saturday. So I wasn't moving a bunch of stuff around. Now, I was ensuring that once the competition was over, I was moving that stuff because that's my responsibility. So I did want to be sure that I put the gym back the way that it needed to be and to my standards. So I spent a lot of time with that, but normally I try and help at least a little bit more in ensuring that the entire gym is set up and ready to go so that it makes things a lot smoother and a lot easier. So that about wraps it up for today's video. Just wanted to go over a little bit of what a gym owner's perspective is of running and hosting a lot of those meets, kind of what I'm responsible for and what the federation is responsible for. Each federation is going to be different. There's all different types, but at least for the USPA, that's kind of how the meets work. So if you liked the video and are liking the series so far, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I want to spend the rest of the month to go over a lot of the stuff that the gym does, a little bit of behind the scenes of what I do as an owner, some other helpful information when it comes to recovery, different workouts, nutrition, all of that kind of stuff. So a lot of good stuff. So if you have any questions, be sure to leave those down below in the comments as well, along with that like and subscribe. And I will catch you on day 8.